Hi guys, welcome to Football Heaven 24/7. I appreciate you liking and subscribing, those that have done so far. Grateful for all those that tune in and listen to all the different episodes that I do. But anyway, I'm going to get to the point. Basically, it's Sunday today, and we're looking at. I'm just going to go over a few of Saturday's games, to be honest. We have got some games obviously being played today on Sunday. Leeds United against Chelsea. That's going to be a massive, massive game. I made a prediction in the week. I believe I said it was going to be 2-1 to Chelsea. But I think I've got this sneaky feeling Leeds might do something. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to go 2-all between Leeds and Chelsea today. And that's in the 2 o'clock kickoff, the early kickoff on Sky. Bristol City are playing Cardiff. I think I said Bristol City to win that one 3-2. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff today. Newcastle are playing against Manchester City. I think Newcastle will keep the bandwagon rolling on, and I think they'll stay top. And I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester City in that game. And then West Ham against Brighton is a tough one to predict because Brighton have not lost in any Premier League games to West Ham. So I'm going to go for 2-2 in that game as well. So I'm going to go 2-all in that one, 2-all in the Leeds and Chelsea game, and 2-1 Manchester City. And as I say, 3-2 to Bristol City against Cardiff in the seven-side derby. On the Monday, probably one of the biggest, used to be the biggest game of the season. Man United, not the team that they used to be. They've been struggling a lot. Obviously, they lost 4-0 again away at Brentford, as we know. They lost 2-1 on the first game of the season at home to Brighton. They're playing Liverpool. I think it's going to be a cagey affair, but I think that Liverpool will come out on top just narrowly. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Liverpool in that game. So on the Saturday, the games that were played already, I'm going to just focus on the Premier League games and the Championship games. And then what I'll do is I'll do something in the week. I've got my bin lids, the kids on summer holidays this for the next 9-10 days. So it's going to be tough to put some episodes out, but we'll put a few out when they're sleeping or something in the evening. So get that done. But anyway, yeah. So going on to the Saturday games. Well, on the Friday night, Norwich was playing Millwall just gone, and they beat them 2-0. Two goals from Josh Sargent. Put Norwich back up there near the playoff area in the playoff areas after having a bit of a slow start to the season. Um, on the Saturday, Crystal Palace. This was the only result that I managed to predict right. And then Crystal Palace to beat Aston Villa 3-1, and that actually happened. So Palace won 3-1. Two goals from Zaha and one from Mateta. So Zaha had a great game yesterday, mainly down to some pretty poor defending from Aston Villa, but Zaha proved his worth. I think when they play Zaha through the middle, he's a lot better than when they play him on the wing. So I think Patrick Vieira, the manager at Palace, has done a fantastic job in just sort of doing kind of what Arsenal did for Henry years ago. Henry was on the wing, as we know, when he was playing for Juventus before he came to Arsenal. And obviously Wenger put him out as an out-and-out striker, as Patrick Vieira has done quite a few games for Zaha. And you can see the difference. A player with that pace, you get the right ball to him, they're going to leave the defence for dust, obviously. And that's the same with great other fast players like Erling Haaland at Manchester City this season as well. So as we saw in that West Ham game for Man City. But Palace won 3-1, even though they were like 1-0 down after 5 minutes through Ollie Watkins. They equalised on the ninth minute through Zaha, and then the rest was history after that. Like I say, they won 3-1. So that gets them back on track after having a bit of a slow start. Everton was playing Forest, my beloved Forest. You words. But I've got to say, it was a cagey affair. There was some good chances. I would say Everton would just had narrowly slightly more chances. Dean Henderson, the Forest keeper, pulled off some really, really world class saves again. Great saves in the battle of two potential. Well, one number one goalkeeper for England in Jordan Pickford, and obviously Dean Henderson is sort of like the future of England, most likely if he keeps on performing really well. So he did really well in that game. Damari Gray ended up as the man of the match for the game. But Forest took the lead on the 81st minute through Brennan Johnson. It was his first goal for the 20-year-old Forest player, son of David Johnson, the great striker for Forest back in the Championship days. I can say that now for a change. So it was really good to see him get off the mark. Forest looked like they were going to win it, but then a couple of minutes later, Damari Gray, he got sent through on goal and he did a great finish past Dean Henderson. So The game ended up Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. The game of the day was without doubt the London derby, local London derby between Fulham and Brentford. Brentford was going into it as well. They weren't really. I don't know if they were the favourites, but they'd just smashed Manchester United 4-0 at home. Albeit Manchester United gifted them the first two goals. Let's be honest. De Gea with that fumble on the first goal against Brentford, and obviously stupid playing out from the back, which still annoys me. I can't stand the playing out from the back. It's so it's so tedious. There's so many goals given away that way. Do you know what I mean? Through all the teams closing them down too quickly. And but anyway, going Fulham Brentford, it was a great game. Mitrovic got on there. Reed was on the score sheet, and I think it's Paulina or something. One of the signings for Fulham. They were all on the score sheet. Tony scored for Brentford, and I think it was Visser or something scored for Brentford as well. So Fulham ended up on top. Mitrovic got a goal right in the dying minutes. Fulham were 2-0 ahead at one point in the game. Brentford got it back to 2-2. But then Mitrovic got a beautiful header in the 90th minute, which meant that Fulham won 3-2. A great start for Fulham, really. Great draw against Liverpool, who did fantastic to win both cups last season. They've had a bit of a slow start. But as I say, on Monday night, I think they'll just shadow Manchester United, just because Manchester United are a team in a bit of chaos at the moment. So yeah, Fulham's had a good start, 1 win and 2 draws. It's a good little start for them. They're up in the top half of the table. My team Forest are in 11th, which is not a bad start. They've won one, they've drawn one, and they've lost one, so that's not too bad for them. As starting a season for the first time in the Premier League in 23 years, as we know. Leicester City was the other game against Southampton. Leicester City took a lead through James Maddison, but Che Adams, who was kind of like there was transfer rumours that he may be going to Everton or Nottingham Forest, to play for them, but nothing's materialised. And I would say after yesterday's game that Southampton will really want to keep hold of him, because it looks like he's going to be a great source of pulling them out a few unlikely victories like yesterday. Leicester haven't really brought in many players, but Leicester were still the favourites to win that one at home. It looked like they were going to go that way once Maddison had given them the lead, but Che Adams rescued them, took all 3 points in a surprise win for Southampton. Early kick-off, Tottenham against Wolves. Tottenham wanted to stay up there in the fight with the other teams this season, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, etc., and Chelsea. But whether they can do it, we don't know. But they won 1-0 in the end. It was a goal towards the end for Harry Kane. Harry Kane broke a record yesterday for basically the most goals ever scored for Tottenham as a striker. He won that one. He got 185 goals in the Premier League now, and he's got 250 altogether in all competitions. So he's going to keep going. I think to beat Shearer's, I think it's 262 or 200. I think it's that kind of figure, 262 or 263. So he has to beat Shearer. He's going to have to get another. What we're looking at, 15. He's got to get about another nearly 80 goals, which I think he can do. I think he's nearly 30 now, so he's 29, maybe 30 now. If he can go on for another 3 years, I would say possibly he'll be able to get that total. So he'd have to have another 3 or 4 seasons, but otherwise Shearer remains the undisputed all-time Premier League goal scorer. Which, to be fair, as a young lad watching Shearer in the Premiership from the very start to now, it's well deserved. He was a great player. He was a he was a bit of a tough lad. He liked to smash the defenders about a bit, but I don't know if someone like Shearer would get away with it today as much. But yeah, he was a quality striker, and he could score goals of all types and scored some absolute stunners, as we all know. So anyway, I'm rabbiting a bit, but we'll go on to the final game of Saturday in the Premier League, which was the evening kickoff on Sky between Bournemouth and Arsenal. Bournemouth had a great start, winning 2-0 against Aston Villa a few weeks back. They'd stuttered a bit, not surprisingly, to be fair, away at Manchester City, losing 4-0. And then they had another tough task playing out an inform Arsenal team, who Gabriel Jesus is firing on all cylinders. But it was the captain for Arsenal that got 2 great goals for them yesterday. Odegaard got 2 great goals for Arsenal. And then Saliba, who was on loan at Marseille last season for Arsenal. He's coming in. He's an absolute rock at the back, which is what Arsenal have needed in defence for a number of seasons. So he got a beautiful curling effort towards the end to seal the deal in the second half to make it 3-0 Arsenal. So yeah, really really good result for Arsenal. They're up the top of the league at the moment. Manchester City, as I say, are playing away at Newcastle today. So if Manchester City were to lose today or to draw, it would mean that Arsenal would stay top. So that would give them a lot of psychological advantage in a way. But as we know, Manchester City have been there and done it. They've achieved lots and lots of things in their time. They've won 4 Premier League titles out of the last 5 seasons. So really, they're still the favourites to win it, in my opinion, and I think they will win it. But we are early on. We're only 3 games in after today's results and Monday. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Yesterday, I went to watch QPR Rotherham. There was a number of chances, but the final ball was lacking for both QPR and Rotherham in a lot of ways. There was a lot of crosses put into the box, but a lot of the crosses weren't really directed at their actual players most of the time. So, yeah, I mean, they took a lead on the 33rd minute, Rotherham. They've had not a bad start to the season, to be fair. And they, after having a 4-0 winner at most recently against Reading, but they got off to an early lead. Abegne scored after 33 minutes, but QPR's Chris Willett got a goal on the 41st minute, not too long later, and that was basically how the game stayed. There was chances, there was efforts, there was misses, there was saves. Um, like I say, a lot of crosses put into the box by both teams, but just no end result at the end of it all. Few near misses, but yeah, not too bad a game. It wasn't boring, but I did switch off a little bit, if I'm honest, and 1-1 in the end between QPR and Rotherham. So it's always really tight in the Championship. If you get 2 wins on the bounce or something like that, you find yourself going from the bottom half to the top half quite often. So looking at it now, there was other games obviously in the Championship. Birmingham played Wigan. That finished 1-0 to Wigan. Burnley played Blackpool. Burnley were actually 2-0 up against Blackpool. Then it was 2-1. Then there was 3-1 up, and then somehow they managed to give it away and draw 3-all in the end, so that was crazy. Coventry was playing against Huddersfield Town. Oh no, they were meant to be playing against Huddersfield Town, but they've still got pitch problems. I don't know how many points deductions they're going to get. It's absolutely crazy, their situation. Um, but I should imagine the EFL is going to hit them pretty hard for all these missed games. Um, we might be looking at 10, 12 points if it keeps on going the way it's going. So feel sorry for the Coventry City fans. It's not fair on them, but that's just how it goes with poor organisation from some of these football teams. Anyway, well, it's not even the football team; it's just the club itself, isn't it? But anyway, going on to Preston against Watford, that finished 0-0. I was surprised. I thought Watford would win that one easily. Reading continue their turnaround after beating Blackburn 3-0 in the week. They beat Middlesbrough, one of the favourites at the start of the season, 1-0. Sheffield United comfortably smashed Blackburn 3-0, 2 goals by Ndiaye, and one absolute screamer to open the scoring through Norwood from like 20 odd yards. He got another one in from like about 20 odd or 30. He had another one, just went over the bar. Stoke lost 1-0 at home to Sunderland, who Stewart scored for them. He's doing a great partnership with Ellis at the moment for Sunderland, and Sunderland are up there at the top now. And then we've got Swansea played Luton. That ended up 2-0 to Luton. So Luton get back on track after a bit of a shaky start. Obviously, they were in the playoffs last year, as we know. West Brom absolutely smashed Hull 5-2, but Tete for Hull ended up as the man of the match as he got set up 2 goals for I can't even say his name, Esther Punion or whatever his name is. He's quite a good striker for Hull City this year. So Hull had a great start, but it seems like they've got smashed. West Brom seems to be picking up their form a bit and showing the quality that they've got in that side for that level. So yeah, so that's my review of the games that have been played on the Saturday. This evening I'll complete it all. I'll do League One, League Two, and I'll even go into probably Scottish Premiership and also into like the nationwide conference. There was a few crazy, well, I'll say nationwide conference. I think it's just the conference now. There's a few mad results or mad things that happened, so I'll talk about them. That'll be another episode this evening. But yeah, this has been Football Heaven 24/7. As I say, thank you for all your likes and support. Really appreciate it. Just let all your friends and family know, even people that aren't into footy, just let them know, get them to like and subscribe, and just obviously get, yeah, tons of people behind, because the content's going to keep getting better and better. The season, it so far has been really exciting. I'm looking forward to sort of reviewing what's happened today on Sunday, and obviously that massive game that's coming up on Monday between Manchester United and Liverpool. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you a bit next week and tonight. Bye for now.